Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been forever since my last video, and I'm sure you're probably thinking, oh, he probably dropped the bike or forgot about it or gave up on it or whatever, and that's truly not the case. You know, life happens and you gotta just deal with things that are important to you at the time, and the Goldwing's just kind of been on the back burner a little bit. I've actually been working on a lot of stuff off camera that I hope to show you. So stick with me on this video. There's not going to be any grinding or welding or any of that sort of thing. I'm going to show you what I've been doing, and hopefully you're excited as I am about this, because I think it's going to really help out a lot of people. All right, so let's talk about the things that I have done, even if it hasn't been on camera. So since my last video, I knew that the next thing I wanted to do was work on the carburetor and potentially get it to the point where it could run. And so I wanted to get rid of this bad boy right here, this big old monstrosity of a carburetor setup. So the best way to do that is to go with dual Weber carbs. And these bad boys are not cheap. They definitely don't give them away. And the intake ports are hand welded by a company, and I'll put the location of their website in the description. And those two things, man, that was a lot of money considering how much I've been saving up for all this project. So I finally managed to get these in, and then the next task was to try to get some adds to it that made a lot of sense. So I actually figured out what the threads were on the ports here, and I'll actually have a pressure gauge on each carb. That way I can understand where the pressure is. And if there's a difference between the two carbs, that way if there's a performance problem, I know how to diagnose it. And then I did some research on what fuel pump I should have. I wanted to do an electric pump for weight savings and just for the aesthetics, not having this big thing here, which you probably saw in another video. I didn't want all that mechanism over here. I wanted it tucked up underneath, and the best way to do that is an electric pump. I'll probably wire it up underneath, like in a bracket of some sort. The biggest task of doing this sort of carb setup is the throttle assembly, because there really is no like go out and buy it setup. You know, it's all like make it up as you go. I know there's a lot of guys out there that have done this conversion and have had to essentially hodgepodge stuff together to make it work, which I totally understand. You use what you got to make it work. I mean, I did on a lot of this stuff. So, but my thought was what if I could come up with a design that is aesthetically pleasing, does the job really well, and just simply mounts on with all the pieces and components you could need to just do the conversion. So that's what I set out to do, and I designed an assembly. And then once I designed it and I felt pretty good about the design, I saved up some money and I bought a 3D printer. And then from there I worked that 3D printer out and got it to the point where I felt comfortable with the printer. And then I printed all the pieces to the throttle assembly. And shocker, the first version of it didn't work. I had to do quite a bit of iterations, many design changes, and I finally settled on a design, and it works really good. It bolts on, super simple. Once I got the 3D print down, I mounted it in place and figured out how I was going to connect it to the carburetor. So the carburetors are going to be connected via a custom bent connecting rods that are threaded on both ends and had heim joints, so that the connection doesn't have to be perfectly aligned but still work properly. Alright, so that about wraps it up. The whole intention of this design really is to come up with something that can work with a OEM bike. You should be about 1980s to about an 83 to an 84 Goldwing, and if you're willing and you want to pull your carbs out and put these bad boys on your bike, well then you could buy my assembly and you'd be boom, off to the races, and you don't have to figure anything out. That's the goal here, is to come up with a product that you guys out there that would want to buy and put on your bike. And I hope that you are excited about this design. I know it's not quite done yet. I've been working with a CNC manufacturer to come up with aluminum pieces so that I can assemble it for real and give it a try. So I'll be updating my Instagram a lot on that, and potentially coming up with some neat videos of maybe the guy making the parts or something cool like that. So please stay tuned to the channel, and I appreciate you guys been sticking with me on this long haul. I know it's been a while since my last video, so there's been lots of subscribers trickling in, and I really appreciate that, especially the comments in the comment section, and you guys have been talking to me, and I've been talking to you. I love that, so keep doing that. Make sure you hit the subscription button as well as that notification bell so you can get updated for future videos. Alright, that's about it. Thanks for watching, appreciate it, and you guys be careful out there.